Today we're going to be talking about something fun, the incentives for taking the vaccine. Hello everyone, Dr. Chris Martinson. Come on, let's go take a look. All right, let's start right here. Remember, I love this quote by Charlie Munger. It says, "You show me the incentive, I'll show you the outcome." Humans are just driven by incentives. So obviously, incentives are really, really important, particularly when we talk about this particular vaccine campaign. Now, you would think that among all the vaccines that are out there, that there would be very little hesitancy because, of course, people want to get their lives back. This has been the most devastating, pandemic in modern history, at least economically speaking. And you would think people would want to avoid death and all of that. So it turns out that still a lot of people are not getting the vaccine. And so a lot of states have turned to vaccine incentives. So let's look at a couple of them. This one, I love this one. This is from Andrew Cuomo. Now remember, Andrew Cuomo won the Emmy for his COVID activities, but of course he was the guy who put COVID patients into old folks' homes. Bad move. But anyway, so I'm actually not clear why he still has a job in this story. But anyway, he says here, the Mets, the Yankees, and at Health New York Gov are teaming up so that when you go to a game, you get a vaccine right at the stadium. And when you do, you get a free ticket. So he says here, if you love baseball and protecting your community, go to a game, get vaccinated, get a free ticket. Look at that, 4.8 thousand likes. Yeah, let me get my drawing tool out here so I can. Yeah, it says here, so if you love baseball and protecting your community, go to a game, get vaccinated, get a free ticket. And check this out, 4.8 thousand likes. That's what you get if you're a governor. I mean, a lot of people like that. So I just want to remind the good governor and, of course, the people at the Mets and the Yankees and everything, getting a shot right at the stadium. Trickier than you might think, because when we wander over to the CDC website, we notice that they say, well, when you are administering these vaccines, this comes right off the CDC website, they say healthcare personnel who are trained and qualified to recognize the signs and symptoms of anaphylaxis. That's an extreme immune response, of course, where your body goes into shutdown and maybe your throat swells up, your lungs are unable to breathe. It's pretty dangerous, anaphylaxis. As well as administer intramuscular epinephrine should be available at the vaccine location at all times. Vaccination locations that anticipate vaccinating large numbers of people, like baseball games, should plan adequate staffing and supplies, including epinephrine, for the assessment and management of anaphylaxis. So be sure when you're vaccinating these people, that'll be a little awkward. You show up for the game, you got your kid in tow, maybe your kids. You show up, you get the little shot in the arm, but there's this waiting area, like people like lying down on gurneys and things like that. I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I don't think that should be part of your baseball game. But hey, I'm not running the show. As well, they say that the following equipment really ought to be on hand. You're going to need the epinephrine, as we just mentioned there. You're going to want your H1 antihistamine. Maybe diphenhydramine, the Benadryl. You're going to want maybe oxygen if feasible, blood pressure monitors. Oh, look at this, intravenous fluids, intubation kits, all the stuff you usually want to see at a baseball game. So that's awesome. That's one thing that's going on. How did we get to this part of this story? How did this get normalized? I don't know. At any rate, let's keep moving on here. And they say the Mets and the Yankees, in addition to offering these tickets for vaccinations, are going to have separate sections for vaccinated fans. I guess that wouldn't presumably include the just recently vaccinated, because, of course, it takes time to take effect. And, of course, if it's a 2-shot series and you're just showing up getting your first shot, you would have to go into the unvaccinated section. Or maybe they just want to make sure that they put all the freshly vaccinated people in the lower levels so they don't topple out of the upper levels as they have their allergic reactions. I don't know, just making some fun with this. But you can clearly see what's happening here. We're starting to get this segregation of the community into vaccinated versus unvaccinated, and this is becoming more and more prevalent. You might even have this experience if you go into a store. They'll say sign, might say vaccine, masks optional for the vaccinated, but there might be somebody there to greet you and challenge you as to whether or not you've had a medical procedure. So not clear how all this got normalized this quickly, but it's where we are at in this story right now. As well, hey, the NFL getting in on it, providing 50 free Super Bowl tickets to vaccinated fans as part of Global Citizens Vax Live. What? What is this? So that would be a Super Bowl out there in February 2022 at SoFi Stadium in LA, working closely with the White House, COVID response team, and Global Citizen, whatever that is. The Super Bowl promotion includes a chance to win a pair of Super Bowl tickets for fans who share their story on why they got vaccinated or will soon get vaccinated. This campaign is the latest step in the league's response to help the country recover and return to normalcy. Details on how to win the Super Bowl tickets will be announced Saturday night during Global Citizens Vax Live, the concert to reunite the world show. Hey, Livio, you know anything about that?
Yeah, that's the first I've heard of it, Chris.
Global Citizens Vax Live. Yeah, it's like Farm Aid. It's the first time hearing about this. So yeah, multiple platforms. It's going across ABC, CBS, Fox. So this is probably the first time that we've ever had a vaccine has had its own concert, its own promotional concert. So you got that going on for it as well. Let's not forget, of course, everybody heard about this. Krispy Kreme. Yeah, you get your free donut if you get vaccinated, up to 1.5 million free donuts. I believe they were given a free donut a day for the rest of the year for customers who could prove vaccination status. So that's Krispy Kreme doing its part to help people get vaccinated. Of course, you know how it is. You live in a country, you got your skeptics and your wags out there. Like these two, Bruce said, hey, high sugar will kill both the hosts and COVID-19. Stephen saying, your reward for taking an experimental vaccine against a virus that primarily attacks the fat and the elderly is something that will make you fat. These are the sorts of comments you get amongst an unsophisticated populace, of course. Obviously, we would never support statements like this, would we? So at any rate, carrying on, just having a little bit of fun with this. But it is just bizarre, isn't it, that we're at this stage where you're getting concerts and Super Bowl tickets and things like that. But it goes even further than that. And there's things I don't totally understand going on, like this. Ohio, it's running as Vax-A-Million. Vax-A-Million, I love that. I think some committee came up with that. It's a public outreach campaign consisting of a series of statewide drawings to increase awareness of the availability and efficacy of COVID-19 vaccines and provide incentives to Ohioans to get a vaccination. Look at this. I like this. Ohioans 12 to 17 years of age who've received at least their first dose of Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine may enter for a chance to win one of 5 4-year full-ride scholarships, including room and board, tuition, and books. Ooh, books. That really ups the value of this enormously, actually. To any Ohio State college or university. In 18 years of age or older, again, they're just saying the Pfizer vaccine or Moderna. Oh, so I didn't notice this before. If you've gotten the Pfizer vaccine, you're eligible to win tuition. But if you've had either the Pfizer or the Moderna and you're over 18, or one dose of the J&J vaccine, you have a chance to win one of 5 $1 million prizes. I wonder whose marketing department got in on Ohio, because it turns out only the Pfizer vaccine qualifies you if you're under 18 for a full ride scholarship, room and board, tuition, and books. So kind of think Vax-A-Million. I've never seen or heard of. There's no reference point for why a vaccination needs this level of support, but it goes on. It carries on. Here's a whole list of things. Look at all these things over here that all these incentives the cities and states are offering. In fact, let's zero in on a couple of those because they're pretty cool. In California, Governor Newsom announced Thursday 30 Californians 12 years and older have a chance to win $50,000 if they complete their vaccination. So now you only have to be 12 years of age in order to qualify for what amounts to what looks like a state lottery. Used to be you had to be an adult to gamble, but apparently now you don't. You can be 12. That's an interesting little thing we've just normalized here. If a minor wins, the cash will be put in a savings account until they turn 18, so that's how they're getting around that. The state is also offering a chance to win one of 10 $1.5 million cash prizes. Take that, Ohio. California is going to supersize that, $1.5 million. Additionally, the first 2 million people to begin and complete their vaccination starting May 27th will automatically receive a $50 prepaid or grocery card. $50. So if you're, $50, and I presume getting the vaccine itself is free. So we got that going on. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let's check this out. Delaware residents, 18 and older, chance of variety of cash and other prizes. Illinois, Six Flags Great America is going to offer 50,000 free tickets, valued at $4 million, to newly vaccinated Illinois residents. Maine, variety of awards here, including a certain number of fishing and hunting licenses. Now we're talking. To any resident who gets at least one dose of the vaccine by the end of May. Maryland, any Maryland resident 18 or older has been vaccinated in the state will be automatically entered in a daily drawing to win a $40,000 prize, daily $40,000 prize, and one person is going to win $400,000. Fishing licenses, Six Flags tickets, money. I mean, you can just this. When have we ever had a vaccine that required this level of incentive? You'd think people would just be lining up, but you know what? I think we can do better in this story. How could we do better? There we go. It's West Virginia for the win. Guns, trucks, and $1 million. So the governor there, great name, Jim Justice. So he's just announced all these great things and interesting picture. They chose to have a picture of him looking down rather than up at the camera. But anyway, that's what's going on in West Virginia. But I got to say, after scanning through all the incentives and all the states we're offering, there's one that really stands out head and shoulders, like way above the rest. And it's got to be this one. This is my all-time favorite one that came out. And we're going to have to tune in because Mayor de Blasio of New York is going to really show all you other governors, all you other people out there at the state level how it's done. This is going to get more people vaccinated than any of those other things. Ready? Let's listen in.
Free fries when you get vaccinated?
Free fries.
I got vaccinated.
Yeah.
You're saying I could get this? These delicious fries?
Yeah. Come
Wait
on.
a minute.
Look at this.
But there's also a burger element to this?
A burger element. There's more.
Let me check with Bill Neathart. Is it too early in the day to eat a burger? No. This can be breakfast? Okay.
I'm so glad they have the sign interpreter.
I want you to
working way
look
up
at this and think about, again, some people love hamburgers, some don't. Really want to respect all ways of life. But if this is appealing to you, just think of this when you think of vaccination. Vaccination.
Vaccination.
I'm getting a very good feeling about vaccination right this moment.
I'm dying over here.
It's like a Saturday Night Live sketch.
Okay, we have officially jumped the shark in the United States. So, we were thinking about it, though. At Peak Prosperity, we were thinking about it. And we realized that we were really late to the game, mea culpa. We really should have been in on this. So we thought hard. And after Bill de Blasio, we're like, how do we follow that? How do you top that performance? What could we do to help encourage people to get vaccination? We realized there was an angle that hadn't been pursued yet. So our offering is a free air for one tire with proof of vaccination at this gas station. So just pull up there and if you can find it. And we're doing our part. We want to be helpful here. But in all seriousness, one of the things that's going to be working against the vaccine campaigns is going to be this. Charts like this. This is daily death counts for coronavirus disease. And you can just see they're just plummeting off. So as summer comes around in the northern hemisphere, people in those climate and latitudes are going to be less and less interested in COVID as a thing because it's going to go away like all colds do, and the pressure will sort of really be off. So I understand why there's a lot of efforts now to increase and boost all of the vaccination efforts. And here we can see in the Netherlands, you see the death counts in the solid or blue line, and then that little stair-steppy dotted line there is vaccinations. They're at about 38% vaxxed right now, and you can see the death counts falling off. So there's really not a lot of good correlation yet between vaccination levels and the death counts, which seem to kind of they have their own rhythm. And so there's a whole story there. I really wish I could tell you more about Duizabin 1 and 2 and all of that, the things that I can't talk about, because there are things out there. And we have real-world data. For those of you out in YouTube land, look at Mexico City, look at India, look at places that are pursuing things other than, hamburger incentives to combat this, and you'll find out that there are other answers out there that work as well or maybe even better than this particular one. But that's all I can say here. I am going to say more at my website, so I'm going to run through all of this data and and examples and a lot more, but I'm going to tell you what I really think. The fortunate fact is I can't really do that out here in the public anymore because there's been a really serious coordinated effort to take down anything that even remotely looks like a challenge to the official narrative, no matter how silly the official narrative has become. So, by the way, if you want to follow us, please come by Peak Prosperity. We're going to have no censorship there. We're going to teach everybody this is kind of how we think. One of the best comment threads I've ever seen in response to last week's episode where we were talking about a variety of things. You should see the comments that people left. Doctors, engineers, really numerate and very worldly people are leaving incredible comments about what the real data actually is. And that's all we're looking for here is balancing risks and potential benefits. And that's what we would like to do in a very serious way, like people should, where you should be able to talk about those things without fear of being ridiculed or shamed or any of that other stuff. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today. Thanks so much for listening. And next time, I got to warn you, next time I'm going to be talking about, I'm going to shift off of COVID a little bit. Next time will be Friday of this coming week. We're going to be talking about inflation and shortages because, as you know, another big passion of mine is where we are in the economic cycle, and there's some really big stuff brewing there. So we're going to have to talk about that because it's going to affect a lot of people. All right, we will see you next time. Thanks so much for listening. Bye-bye.